In the previous episode, we tackled the treacherous Strait of Messina and escaped the jaws of the monster Scylla. Today, our odyssey continues and we are ready to venture into the legendary seas of the kingdom of Aeolus. In other words, we are going to the Aeolian Islands. I'm Giulia and I'm Italian, and he's Mads from Denmark, and this is our home, Alba. After years living in the city, we gave in to the call of adventure and moved on a sailboat. We're currently sailing in the south of Italy, along the coast of Sicily. Subscribe to the channel and join us aboard for new adventures every week. With a great view on the Strait of Messina to our port side, we started discussing to which island to sail to next. But in the end, it's always the weather forecast that has the last word.
There's a new forecast. The weather is fine for going to Stromboli today. We're gonna motor the entire way, but the night to Thursday, it's gonna pick up, so we'll probably have to leave Stromboli tomorrow afternoon if we want to.
It's not protected there?
No, it's not protected at all.
When the sky is so clear and the sea is calm, it may seem unnecessary to worry about the weather and make plans. But let's never forget that Neptune changes mood in a second, and above all, that this is the scary Aeolian Triangle. Yes, a bit like the Caribbean has the Bermuda Triangle, there are those who claim that the Mediterranean also has an area that has always been surrounded by mystery. And we're about to enter it. And respectful of Neptune's wishes, namely the weather forecast, we have given up on going to Stromboli and decided to set course for Vulcano.
You still hungry?
Yeah, I can eat some
Like
banana
what?
maybe.
Banana?
No banana, I'm gonna make another sandwich, I'm hungry. We're sailing only by sail in the heart of the Aeolian Islands. We have Stromboli just there behind me, and then Panarea, Lipari, Vulcano, Salina over there. The wind is perfect, there's basically no waves at all. A little bit, but just pushing us forward. So yeah, perfect conditions for sailing. These waters, and above all our fate, are at the mercy of the one who has the power to govern the winds, and from whom the Aeolian Islands take their name, the mighty king Aeolus. Today, the great ruler seems to favour us, just as he did with Ulysses. Aeolus has welcomed us into his legendary kingdom and has handed us a bag that holds all the contrary winds. Only the breezes favourable to us remain free to blow and fill our sails. But we must be very careful and guard this gift well. If we dare to peer into the bag of winds, we will release a sea of difficulties. When sailing, I like to read about the mysterious lands I'm about to reach. This time, I found out that Vulcano is the land of monsters and the dead. Marina di Vulcanello, da barca a vela Alba, cambio. Marina di Vulcanello is a pretty marina on the island of Vulcano, run by kind and welcoming people who hosted us for 2 nights. There is a floating pier with mooring lines, a buoy field, and the possibility to rent boats and dinghies. The marina also has a beautiful beach reserved for the guests, equipped with free deck chairs and umbrellas. And then there is a large lounge area with comfortable couches and cushions surrounded by nature and with an amazing view on the great volcanic crater of the island. And so, after sailing 40 miles, we set foot on the black rock of the forge of Hephaestus, who is the god here called Vulcano, lord of fire and metal working. Vulcano creates, melts, destroys and reforges. Looking around, we can see how, with these skills, he has shaped his own forge. The island on which we find ourselves is in fact formed by at least 4 volcanoes: Fossa, Vulcanello, Monte Aria and Monte Saraceno. But Hephaestus, with his faithful Cyclops, is certainly still at work down there. Sulphureous fumaroles rise from the central crater and from other parts of the island, a sign of the great production in the forge. And on the beach near the sea, hot volcanic mud, perhaps waste from forging of divine weapons, emerges and has the power to soothe our human suffering. Indeed, the mud from Vulcano has healing properties, even if it has a terrible smell of rotten egg. And when I walk on this incredible land, I do so with a light step, so as not to disturb the god who perhaps, having taken refuge down there, does not wish to receive visitors. But I hope that one day in the future he will allow me to set foot in his kingdom again, immerse myself in his mud and take a closer look at the great crater. For this time, his fury prevented me from doing so. But I still managed to get close to his monsters, the creatures he molded and placed to guard the island around Vulcanello, in what is called the Valley of the Monsters. And I can't wait to see what shapes and colors the island of Vulcano will take on my next visit. And up there, in the orange sky, we believe we spotted the holy eagle, which some say is Zeus himself. We have temporarily left our mooring at Marina di Vulcanello and now we are doing a full tour of the island with our own boat. We're motoring around because there's no wind, but it's so nice to be able to sail so close to the coast and just check out every single rock. There are so many caves. It really looks like there is a god of fire inside that is looking at us. The island is surprisingly green as well. I mean, despite being a huge block of volcanic rock, there is so much vegetation up there. It looks like the contrary winds are still in the bag that God Aeolus gave to us, and we are making sure that they don't escape. Let's hope that they stay in for the next days as well. But I was wrong. In fact, we were about to discover that his favour would soon desert us. We chilled a bit in the outdoor lounge area of the marina. It's so nice because you have a beautiful view on the bay, a beautiful view on the sunset, and you can also keep an eye on your boat. So that's perfect. And now we're just prepping a bit for the next days of sailing. Mads is outside doing I don't know what. And then I think we're gonna vacuum clean a bit and I'm gonna do some meal prepping. It would have been nice to eat some freshly caught fish tonight, but that didn't happen. Oh, better. We caught 4 fish, 4 tuna, different types of tuna, but we released them all because they were still alive and doing well and they were too small and we just didn't want to kill small fish. It's better if they grow and then maybe they can feed an entire family. So instead tonight I'm gonna make meat-free burgers. Lately I've been trying my hand at new recipes that can be prepared with common ingredients on the boat. Apart from food preferences, meat is not really a good ally on boat, because it's very difficult to preserve its freshness, and when you can eat freshly caught fish every now and then, it seems absurd to go and buy meat that comes from who knows where with a lot of packaging. In the absence of fish, I try to cook a lot of beans, which can be stored easily and for a long time, and I try to make them tasty in different ways. This burger, even according to Mads, was at least as good as the one at the pub. Follow me on Instagram and I will share the complete video recipe. For the rest of the evening, we simply studied the weather forecast, which is what sailors end up doing most of the time. We made plans, which, as usual, got overturned by the following forecast. We had a pretty rough night and it became clear that the contrary winds had managed to escape Aeolus' bag. So we had to leave, with the fear of no longer having the ruler of the winds on our side. However, as we left the realm of Hephaestus to return to that of Aeolus and Neptune, we understood everything. We realized we had been wrong. Sometimes it may seem that the circumstances play against us, that the gods have hatched a plot to destroy all our plans. For example, when we want to set course for Stromboli, but Neptune's waves force us to divert to Vulcano. Then we land in the realm of Hephaestus only to discover that we cannot get close to the god's forge and have to give up climbing the great crater and plunging into the mud. And then, no sooner we have adjusted our plans to the situation, that the contrary winds break free from the bag of Aeolus and once again upset our plans. And in all this, we may have been planning to eat fish, but we have to scramble to find an alternative with canned food. Dear friends, we all know that these things are the order of the day, not only on the boat, but also at home, at work, or in any other situation. But we have a great advantage over our enemy fate. We can choose how to deal with it. Even when fate deals us a hand of unfavorable cards, we have the power to play them as we see fit. And the payoff may be greater than we think. So I would say that Neptune's rage is an invention, that Hephaestus does not care about us visitors, and that there are no contrary winds in the bag of Aeolus. Difficulties do not exist as such, but only as a projection of our own judgment and unfulfilled expectations. It isn't easy to accept everything that happens to us. We are not made to be so passive. However, what we can do is to turn difficulties into opportunities for growth and become the true makers of our own destiny. We must learn to adapt, to be flexible, and make the best out of adverse circumstances. That is the secret. We may not achieve our goals quickly, but during our voyage we will see incredible places, make unexpected encounters, and a bit like Ulysses, become the true heroes of the journey of our lives. Don't miss the next episode, in which we anchor in Lipari and are forced into some difficult decisions.